This is a question I get asked a lot. What about strings and orchestral instruments? What do you do with those? Well, one of the things I do is generally I'll use effects on them. Even if it's recorded in a hall and has its own effects, many times I'll feed it into a separate reverb so that I'll have more control and I can blend all the libraries and all the sounds together and give it more of a cohesive sound. But many times to get it to cut through, if you have it in a rock mix, you're going to have to add some upper mids here, 3 to 4K. You'll notice that it just doesn't cut through. There's a lot of low-end rumble that happens after the strings. That's part of the room ambience that you kind of need to filter out depending on what you're doing with it. And sometimes I cut the low mids if they're usually if it's in a rock track. You're going to make the arrangements so that it's not competing with the guitars. You're not going to have that information there. But even in orchestral music, sometimes the low mids can get a bit much, and you might need to cut those, or you might leave them flat. Once again, it's hard to say because all the libraries sound different. And if you play with different sounds, which I usually would suggest not using the same sound. In a live performance, you're going to actually have the instruments. The performers are going to control the level of dynamics in their particular part. If they need to bring a particular part out, they're going to play it louder. But you don't quite have that same. It's a little bit more difficult to do with virtual instruments. So, like I said, you want to get as many different things on as many different tracks as possible so that you have absolute control over it.